And good evening, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Real Fellas Talk Sports. Real old fellas talk sports. Anyway, welcome to the show. We got a lot to talk about, mostly the NBA, a little bit of WNBA, and any sport you guys bring up that we might be missing. So please email, text us, let us know what you're thinking. Anyway, introduce the fellas. Charles Snowden, how are you?
David, I'm doing great. It's good to see the fellas. 7 o'clock on Wednesday. You know how I feel about that. I hope everything's doing great in Indianapolis. And thanks to folks out there for joining in and checking us out this week.
Greg Fenner, how are you?
Hey, I couldn't be better. I'm back in Real Fellas land. This is the greatest land in the nation. It's a great night. Wednesday night is always my favorite night.
And you know where I am? I'm in the sports capital of the world.
Imagine
the
that.
world. The world. Anyway, I just need to always repeat that.
You got a big car racing thing coming up here in the next couple of weeks, don't you?
It's sold out, 350,000 people, the biggest audience in sports in the world.
Country. Oh, in the world?
No, in the world.
Wow.
In the world.
350,000. That is crazy.
That's a lot of folks.
That's a lot of folks.
It's the biggest one-day sporting event in the world.
Wow.
The Indianapolis 500, and it will be the 60th anniversary of my first attending the race in 1966, and my 54th time going. All right, let's talk a little basketball. Enough about racing. I'll inform you guys of everything happening in Indy around the track later. But for now, let's talk about the Spurs and the Timberwolves. That series is tied 2-2. Wemby was ejected in game number 3. The Spurs came back and demolished the Wolves in game number 4. What's going on? Guys, let's start with you, Chuck.
I think it's a great competitive series. I think we all, maybe I should just speak for myself. I think we all undervalued Minnesota or underestimated Minnesota. Minnesota's a heck of an outfit. They've got some good, tough-minded players. They've got that big fella that can guard the rim. He's weak offensively. They're competitive. And so the Wemby ejection was justified. I don't think he should have been. I'm glad they didn't. I don't think he should have been suspended. They could have fined him some money, but they got so much money, so he could have paid the fine. And then he showed a heck of a response last night in that first quarter. That ejection didn't bother him mentally. And at 22 years old, you always worry about that. He had a heck of a first quarter. I think he had 16, 18 points in the first quarter. And the series is really good. Now, they go back to Minnesota. So we'll see how Minnesota responds to the game last night.
Hey, Greg, Minnesota has got some challenges. Their star player, Anthony Edwards, is nicked up. He's not the same. He doesn't have the same lift. Rudy Gobert has a challenge, even though he's close friends with Wemby. There's not much you can do with a guy that's 7'5" and so offensively skilled. Is this thing going to be over soon? It's 2-2. What do you think, Greg?
I think
I'm looking at this. According to 3-2. 3-2 is up. Yeah. The Spurs are
3-2.
up 3-2.
My
This
bad.
could
My
be over
bad.
Friday night. Yeah. This could be over Friday night. And I tell you, I watched Anthony Edwards' post-game press conference with the media, and he was really good. And I can tell you the things that he said, and I'm sure we'll get into it more during the show, but they all lead back to the head coach. And I'm not a fan of the coach because actually Ant-Man confirmed what I believe. He said we're still making mistakes in the game plan. Our rotations are not good, and we're not sticking to the game plan at this point in the series. It's too late to fix it. I was like, okay, so that sounds to me like a guy this Ant-Man's future. If Ant-Man ain't satisfied, coaches could very well be wrong. Now, it's hard to fire a coach when he's made the conference championship 3 times. Yeah, but it's happened before, and it happened with the Raptors and with Dwayne Casey, and Nick Nurse won a championship next year. So I'm not saying Nick Nurse is anything special. I'm just saying that I think this guy's on the bubble. But Wemby, he's going to get a big fine, right? He's going to pay some big money for that elbow.
Well, let me ask you this: are we leaving out one of the components of the Wolves that should be examined a little bit closer? That big power forward that they have, who comes up small sometimes. Can he contribute more?
He's not capable. He's not capable of contributing more. First of all, his basketball IQ is very low. He makes stupid fouls. He fouled a guy last night after rebound, going up the court, just swatting back at the ball. I'm like, that was so stupid. You weren't even prepared to get the ball if it came loose. You're running up the court. So his basketball IQ is very low. So no, he's doing all he's capable of doing.
What is number 30's name? Why I'm drawing a blank on him?
I'm drawing a blank on him too.
Yeah, he came from the Knicks, and he's big and strong, no doubt.
Oh, Randall.
Right? Yeah, there you go. You're right, Greg. His IQ is not the same. Now, Greg, I want to differ. I want to take a small little differ with you on because I saw some of that post-game interview by Ant, and what Ant said is, hey, when Wemby is doing his thing,
there's not much you can do.
There's no answers to that.
Can't stop.
And if we're just hoping he misses, kind of thing. And he's not usually as offensive as he was in that first quarter. And Ant is hobbled himself, and DiVincenzo is out as well. But I do think the series is competitive, and it wouldn't shock me if Minnesota beat San Antonio on Friday night, but I am expecting San Antonio to win.
Let me ask you this. Chuck. If Rudy Gobert wasn't friendly with Wemby, would he be able to be a little bit rougher and tougher with him?
I don't think so, David. I think he's causing a little bit of a problem because of his size and his defensive skills. He just doesn't give him anything on the offensive side. To prove that point, sometimes they dump it off to him, and he's right at the rim, Gobert, and he gets his shot blocked. He gets his shot blocked by guys who are 6 and 7 and 8 inches shorter than him.
He's not an offensive threat.
He's just not an offensive player, and that's a challenge, right?
That's why I think it's a little unfair to really be overly critical of the coach. The coach can only coach the material that he's got.
Oh, okay. But if Ant-Man is saying they can't get the game plan right and they can't remember the game plan and they don't execute, that's coaching. That's coaching. I mean, I'm not saying he's a bad coach.
You make a good point.
Maybe he just ain't a good coach for them. The key, I think, to the Timberwolves is McDaniels. McDaniels is the key to the Timberwolves. When he gets in foul trouble, when he goes out, that's when they stumble.
Yeah. No one has emerged in that group this series to get those 35, 40-point games like Ant has done in the past, or like the guard from Cleveland had that monster second half. They haven't had a guy, and McDaniels was that guy in the previous series against Denver, but they haven't had that guy. Look, and I think San Antonio got some emerging young star players on their team. And
yes, they do.
Yeah, so it's an interesting.
So, bottom line, Spurs are going to win the series. Yes,
I think so.
no.
Yes,
Yes.
I think so.
Okay, let's move on to the Pistons and the Cavs game tonight. Detroit looks like they have reached their limit. And Cade Cunningham, the alleged superstar, I'm not the biggest Cade Cunningham fan. I think he's pretty good, but that's all I think he is. He had some thoughtless turnovers a couple of games ago. He's going to have to eliminate those turnovers because that's pretty much he's all that they have offensively. Will the Cavs do it? And James Harden, by the way, we always get on James Harden's case. He's terrible in the playoffs. He has a history of being terrible in the playoffs, but he's looking not bad. I'm not going to say he's looking good. He's looking not bad. Can he shut up the haters? Greg.
He can. I think he can, but he's got to win a ring to shut up the haters. And he's got to win a ring because Kobe said, and I quote the late, great Kobe Bryant, no team will ever win a championship as long as Harden holds the ball as long as he does, because that gives the defense time to collapse and to readjust, and he takes his rest of his team out of the game. No, he has not shut the haters up. He's better. He's playing better, but he still doesn't have a ring. So in my mind, I'm going to stick with Kobe.
All right, Donovan Mitchell, a bunch of points the other night. Donovan Mitchell is an awesome player. He finally is looking like he's turning it on. Is Donovan Mitchell the key to the Cavs, and is he the reason James Harden is looking better? Chuck.
Well, I think that is it. But here's the key is this. They play better. I'm talking about James Harden, Harden and the other guard. They play really well in Cleveland. They struggle on the road, especially Harden on the road. So they're going to be back in Detroit tonight, where the crowd's going to be rocking. All the ex-Pistons are going to be along the sideline like Isaiah and those folks, et cetera, Ben Wallace and so forth. And it's going to be different. And they're tough-minded, man. Them Pistons are tough-minded. And Cade will bounce back. Trust me, he will bounce back. They just need somebody from the group of others.
But do they have those people?
Well, but Tobias Harris against Philadelphia, against Orlando in that last game, Tobias Harris had 30 points. So it could be Duncan Robinson. It could be Tobias Harris. It could be Giannis off the bench. It could be Duren. Duren has had he's not played well in this playoffs at all, but Duren had a good season. So one of those others has to join Cade Cunningham
It's a lot of others.
Well,
a lot of
look, we've always talked on this show
let me
all
just
year
say
long.
this.
We always talk on this show all year long. How does Detroit win? Because we thought their roster wasn't a great roster, but they won 60 games and they're the number one team in the East.
Let's talk about coaching then. J.B. Bickerstaff is one of the top coaches now in the league. And maybe he's the reason Detroit, without a whole lot of offense from other people, the others, as you call them, is the reason Detroit can win games that maybe they shouldn't win. Do you agree with that, Greg?
Part. Yes, sir. That part. J.B. Bickerstaff is stone cold, man. This guy is strategic. He's smart. He knows how to put the right matchups on the floor. And the only thing that scares him is when he looks on the sideline and sees Coco Jones. Because when Coco Jones shows up, Mitchell goes berserk. Every time Coco Jones is on that sideline, boy, Mitchell goes berserk.
Now you got to tell the audience and me who's Coco Jones.
Okay, so Coco Jones is a singer, but she also played in Bel Air, the remake of Fresh Prince. Beautiful young sister, and they're dating. When Coco Jones is at the game, brother, right after the game, first person he went to for a smooch was Coco Jones.
That's Mitchell's girlfriend. That's Mitchell's girlfriend.
She's a beautiful young lady. Beautiful.
Doesn't she have him by some age?
I think. That's a good question.
Shouldn't she be a lot older? She should be his mother.
No, I don't know. I think they're about the same age.
You know what?
They're about the same age.
Yeah,
all right.
I think she's about the same age.
All right, okay, all right.
But we know he had a great game the other night. But Mitchell has had an incredible game. Mitchell had a 71-point game against Chicago or the Pacers or somebody once upon a time. So he can score, no doubt. But it's different when you play on the road in the playoffs. And I think you'll see Detroit respond tonight. Big time.
He's actually a year older than her. Coco Jones is 28. He's 29.
Yeah. The same
all right. My bad.
That's
My
okay.
bad. All right.
That's okay. I'll tell you
So,
another thing. I tell you another
go
thing.
ahead.
I tell you another thing that happened in that game in Cleveland. And I'm not trying to make excuses, but Cleveland shot a lot more free throws than Detroit did. I think it was like, I want to say it was like 34-10 or something. It was a big gap there. And Bickerstaff made that point in his post game. So it'll be interesting to see how the refs call the game up in Detroit.
Yeah, I think Jared Allen plays really well. Jared Allen has been on fire. Mobley is inconsistent. Mobley's talented, but he's inconsistent. But Jared Allen, the boy's playing some basketball, man.
Is Jared Allen, though, a top-tier center?
No.
Not offensively.
I don't think so. I think his actual natural position, I think, is forward. I don't think he's a natural center. But I'm telling you, I love how he plays, man. He gets after. He really
He's kind of like Gobert. He doesn't give them any offense, but he protects the rim a little bit and let Mobley and the guards do their thing. They got a bunch of others on that team too, Strus and
All
some
right.
other guys.
Bottom line, who wins the series?
It's a tough one.
I'm leaning toward Cleveland in this one, and I didn't think I would say that, but I'm actually leaning toward Cleveland.
I'm leaning, and I think Detroit will win it. I think Detroit will win tonight. That puts them up 3-2, and then they got Game 7 back in Detroit. So I'm giving Detroit the edge.
I'd say Cleveland because I believe in James Harden. Not really, but I want to
say. Yeah, James Harden, please. But he played good the other night.
He played well. Maybe
he really
shaking
and
off.
by the way, he turned the ball over. The game before that, he had like 8 or 9. He turns the ball over too now.
Well, that's what he does in the playoffs.
Right.
All right, let's get down to business. OKC, the best team in basketball right now, 8-0 in the playoffs. Last team to beat the OKC Thunder in the playoffs was who?
Was it last year?
Last team to beat
the Pacers. The Pacers.
Okay, thank you. I just wanted to shout out.
You mean won a game? You mean didn't win the series, but won the game? Right.
Yeah, that was the Indiana Pacers.
It's been so long since they lost in the playoffs. I forgot.
2 sweeps.
Yeah,
LA could have won that game. LA could have won the game Monday night, though. I mean, that was a hell of a game.
It was a closeout game, and they played their asses off. All right, real quickly.
And I was surprised old David Burnett was up at 1:30 in the morning watching that.
Hey, it could have been LeBron James's last game. I had to see it. Let's just jump right to the lead. LeBron James. The Lakers went out 0-4, got swept, but LeBron James still looks like he can play very well. What happens to a 41-year-old player, arguably the greatest player in the history of the NBA? We can argue that, and he's made a great argument for that. Mm-hmm. He's a free agent, no restrictions. What happens to LeBron James? Let me ask his father. I'm not messing with you.
I seriously, David, it's the $1 million question. And I don't think anyone knows. I'm not even sure he knows. I think he's going to sit down with the Lakers and figure out what the Lakers want to do or going to do to support him. I don't see him leaving LA, but I don't know. Because I think LA is going to make a move, maybe try to get Giannis. I don't know if they can go over the cap and pay the second apron and all that nonsense. I don't know what he's going to do. I've heard places like Cleveland. I've heard places like New York.
Let me just get right down to it. Greg, should he retire at this point?
I'd say no. He's got another year.
And I'll let you retort to that, Chuck. Okay.
He's got another year. No retirement. He's got another year as a starter. Probably 2 to 3 with the load management working for him. But I would say absolutely not retire. I don't think he's going to leave LA. I think LA is not just about basketball. He's so big and so many other things that he needs a major market like LA. He can't do in Cleveland or Miami what he does now. Those are good markets, but this dude is global, man. This is a global cat in movies and production and all kind of finance deals that he's doing. He can't leave LA, and he stays in LA. Junior Mint gets to play another year with the Lakers. I mean, it's because I got a feeling the day he walks out, as soon as he gets to his car, Junior's going to land on his hood. They're going to throw him out right behind him.
Now, let me ask you this, and let me ask Chuck. You study the Lakers very well. You wear Laker gear and everything like that. And for good reason. They're a great team. They're a great legacy, one of the great teams of all time. Would Bronny even be in the NBA if it wasn't for his dad?
Well, maybe not, but who? So what? Look, a lot of that goes on in life. Would
Giannis's brothers?
Would the second Bush been president if his daddy wasn't the original?
Probably
president?
not.
Right.
Probably not.
I'm okay. Look, I'm okay with that, and it's not that he's embarrassed himself. There are other second round picks or even first round picks have done less than what he's done. So. I'm okay.
Well, let's just look at it this way. Is Bronny worse than Giannis's brothers on Milwaukee?
Oh, my God. No.
No. And I'm telling you, first off, no. And when I went to that Wizards game, what I saw on that floor, Bronny belongs in the NBA. He's better than half of the players on the Wizards. Absolutely.
He's getting better.
All right. Let's talk about the New York Knickerbockers. That's their full name.
Well, before we okay.
Okay, go ahead.
I wanted to comment about OKC because OKC didn't have their second best player, their all-pro guy from a year ago, a key part of their run for the title. And if you were watching basketball for the first time, you wouldn't even notice that he was missing because they had players that just come off that bench and deliver.
And one of those players is A.J. Mitchell.
Oh, my God. A.J. was unbelievable. McCain was unbelievable. And I'll tell you what Chuck Snowden did, he's finally shut me up. Chet Holmgren is better than I've given him credit for over time.
I've been telling you that.
I know. He has a specific – in that team, he has a specific thing he does for them. Now, does he always score every night? No, because they don't need that on that team. That team is weird like that. But he can play defense. He can take those drop-off passes and dunk it. And even Haberstein, they got Dort playing defense. They got Caruso. They just come at you in raves. But this A.J. Mitchell story I find fascinating. And I had done some checking on him. And he was a second-round pick that this guy Presti picked from a school in California. I think he's originally from Belgium.
UC Irvine.
Okay.
Right. He's originally from. Okay. But the point is, he's the 15th highest paid player on the.
And that's what he should be.
But he averaged 24 points in this playoff game in 4 games.
But they have so much talent that guys are going to emerge. And a guy like Jay Will, or whichever Will he is, I call him street clothes too. Because he's sitting in a street clothes, clapping his hands. He's irrelevant. Do you agree with that, Greg?
I do. Listen, let me say first off, the Thunder play what I call, and I stole this from somebody. I heard one of the NBA coaches say, next man up basketball. They play next man. Anybody gets hurt, these guys step up. They have the best defensive hands in the NBA. You put that ball anywhere near them, it's gone. Just like that. Holmgren understands his role, man. Big Chet know the role he got to play. He don't need to usurp anybody to fill his role. Do your thing. Hartenstein, all these guys come off the bench, man. They know what they're doing. J-Dub may be out of a home. I'm telling you. Think about this. This kid, A.J. Mitchell, got drafted by the Knicks. They traded him on draft night. They traded him, and the Knicks traded him and for Aso Iguodaro. Does anybody know who Aso Iguodaro is?
No.
I had to look him up.
I never heard of him.
He plays with the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, wow.
All right, and so, and I'm saying all that to say, and I know we're going to get to Presti, but there are certain people in this business that know what they're looking at, and other people just don't. They just
100%.
Don't know what they're looking at. They don't know
like
talent.
Daryl
They don't
Morey.
know talent if you crawled in their bed and spent the night with them.
The unemployed Daryl Morris.
Daryl Morey is gone.
Yes.
All right.
And
Sam
by
Presti.
the way, they got 2 first-round picks. They got the 12th and the 17th pick this year. In other words, even if you say Jay Will could be gone and you might trade him to get some, I don't know.
They have
I
replacements.
just don't know what
I don't
OKC.
think they're gonna miss him.
I mean, what do
They're
they
not
need?
going to miss him at all.
What do
Let
they
me
need?
ask you this. Let me ask you guys this. The architect of all of it for many, many years, going back all the way to the 2010s, is Sam Presti, the general manager president of the OKC Thunder. Is anybody got a better eye for talent than he does?
No, I don't think so. And in fact, he's been there since 2007. He was 30 years old.
He drafted Durant.
Yeah, and Westbrook and
Harden.
Yeah. So, and then later on, he had some lean years in the middle of this new run. But the reality is, he knows what the heck he is doing, and it's impressive. And by the way, David, they're in a small market. We get to see them. We do get to see Oklahoma City
because they got stars. They've developed stars.
It's actually like a college town.
Let me tell you one reason. Let me tell you one reason why he knows what he's doing. From 2000 to 2007, he was with the San Antonio Spurs working under Greg Popovich. So once you say that pretty much starts to put things in perspective. He was Greg Popovich's video coordinator and then became the assistant GM in 2003, VP assistant to the GM in 2005. He traded Paul George. Listen to this. You're going to love this. He traded Paul George to the Clippers for SGA in 2021, first-round pick via Miami, a 2022 first-round pick via the Clippers, 2023 first-round pick via Miami, right to swap 2023 first-round pick with the Clippers, 2024 first-round pick to the LA Clippers, right to swap 2025 first-round pick with the Clippers, and a 2026 first-round pick by the LA Clippers. Who is the LA Clippers GM?
Right. It used to be Elgin Baylor. So they got SGA, they hit the league MVP, and 5 or 6 draft picks, number 1 picks.
I mean, and I'm sure Paul George was worth a lot, but was he worth that much?
He wasn't worth anything in Indianapolis.
Without a gun. He robbed them people without a gun and a band.
But this Petrie, a lot of what he's doing, he's done because of the time he spent with Greg Popovich. And I think Greg Popovich is an NBA criminal mastermind.
One thing you mentioned in his resume, video coordinator. Video coordinators seem to know what the heck is going on in all sports.
Dude, guy in Miami.
He's watching everything. He's watching Greg Popovich break down film. He knows what he's looking at. And also, he was the director of player personnel in 2003. So this guy came up through this is how you really prepare for a job. This is how you So
now that we've said that, David, you tell us, what in the heck did the Pacers do, and how did that all? I know your state has to be beside itself.
Well, we'll get to that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, let's talk about the New York Knickerbockers. Is Mike Brown vindicated? Is he redeemed? Because all of us have criticized Mike Brown to one degree or another. He's hopped around coaching for quite a number of years, started with the Cleveland Cavaliers as a head coach, but he had been an assistant coach before that and successful assistant coach. But for whatever reason, he never looked the part, in my opinion. But now he does. And the Knicks never look better than they look right now. Chuck, your thoughts on the Knicks and Mike Brown?
That team was down 2-1 to Atlanta. And I think Mike Brown, the aforementioned Mike Brown, I think he made a tactical move and he said, look, Cat, we're going to start throwing the ball in the Cat at the top and let Cat make the second pass and take that pressure off of Brunson to have to bring it up and score and all those things. And I think that little subtle change, the Knicks haven't missed a beat. I mean, Cat has had more assists. He's almost like a point center now. And all of those pieces, Bridges looked so bad for the last month until they made that change. He looks great. OG looks great. Hart looks great. Brunson looks great. Guys off the bench looks great. So I got to give Mike Brown some of the credit, even though I'm not a big fan. But I'll tell you something. If you don't get to the NBA Finals, he's still going to get criticized.
Well, it's New York.
Right.
It's New York.
Right.
Greg, your thoughts?
Oh, I think Mike Brown has turned a major corner. And I think the thing that I see that he gets is chemistry and matchups. He gets that. I mean, think about it. He doesn't have DiVincenzo and he doesn't have Hartenstein and he doesn't have Randall. Now, they swapped out Randall for Big Cat, but I'm telling you, he's putting the right people on the floor at the right time. He's getting the most out of them. And I think if you look at what he's done compared to Thibodeau, I thought Thibodeau was a questionable firing. I'm not lying. I thought that was a questionable firing. Mike Brown is making all that go away. This dude is getting it done, man. He's getting it done.
They crushed Philadelphia. I mean, I think that was the biggest margin of victory in a playoff in the history of the NBA. It was that bad.
Well, let's just look at it this way. Philadelphia really wasn't a good team, bottom line. And
they had some pieces.
They have pieces, but they've never won it. Why do you think Daryl Morey got fired?
Well,
they don't have coherent pieces to get something done.
Trust the
question. I got a question, and I previewed it for you guys before we came on. Who does Jalen Brunson remind you of historically? I have an opinion on that, and I want your opinion. There is a particular player that he reminds me of. Let me start with you, Chuck.
He reminds me of a combo of like a Chauncey Billups and an Isaiah Thomas, meaning he's physical, he's strong, he's not tall, and he's clutch. And
okay.
I just think that's who he reminds me of, a combo of Chauncey Billups and Isaiah.
Greg.
So it's weird, but it's something about him that reminds me, he has the heart of Allen Iverson, right? Because Allen Iverson had guts, but he's more efficient than Allen Iverson. And that left hand, I got to look back at Tiny Nate Archibald. I mean, I got to look at him just because of his ball handling, the way he carries it. But I think at the end of the day, Isaiah probably is kind of overwhelming because he could score. He's one of the he could really score, and Brunson can really score. So that I probably would lean more toward Isaiah, but he's got a little bit of both of those other guys in it.
Let me tell you who he reminds me of, and I thought about this the other night. The way he handles the ball reminds me of Earl the Pearl Monroe. Not the Knicks Earl the Pearl, the Baltimore Bullets Earl the Pearl.
Baltimore Bullets Earl.
I mean, he had a way of getting to the hoop, you know, the body movement, the body control. There's just something, you know, and I'm not a big Brunson guy, but I have to give him, I got to dap him up a little bit because, you know, there's something about his game. He can't stop anybody, but nobody can stop him.
100%.
The Pacers, you know, he scared me with the Pacers last year because the Pacers couldn't stop him.
Right.
He could score at will. And he's, 6 foot tall?
Yeah. Yeah. He reminds me of a little bit of how Adrian Dantley played at his size, a power forward inside, because of that body he had. He knew how to use that body. Earl Monroe, Earl Monroe was Black Jesus, the original Black Jesus.
Oh, yeah.
He was a lot of flair and a lot of, I don't know that Brunson because I don't know that Earl was as physical as Brunson.
No, he's not as physical, but the movement. I mean, the Baltimore Bullets, Earl Monroe, because he was neutered when he played with Walt Frazier. He wasn't the same guy.
He had his famous line. Earl's famous line was because Walt Frazier used to be able to check him well when he was with the Bullets, and he said, and then Earl started to score on Frazier. He said, "How could Frazier know how to check me? Well, I don't know what I'm going to do." In other words, he was that creative, and there was no way that Walt Frazier could figure out how. And he had bad knees and all those things.
Yeah, he did.
He did. Oh my God! And they tell me that the guy, when he was down at Winston-Salem, it was like must-see. Like everybody would go to those games.
There's still legends about how he spit on the court at half court at St. Augustine, scored 50 points on him.
Right.
All right, real quick. When will Cat stop fouling? That's the only negative on the Knicks that I can see right now. He makes some
He does
stupid
make some dumb
fouls
fouls.
all the time. Chuck.
Barkley calls him out on that too. I think he's calmed down a little bit. I do. I thought he played well against Embiid. I just think Cat has this role that he likes now, where he can make passes and be a facilitator, and he's getting touches. He doesn't have to necessarily take a lot of shots, but he feels like he's more involved on the offensive end. And that was a smart move by them. So I think I just think it all is working well. And except for, you're right, David, the fouling, if he doesn't overdo that situation, the Knicks are pretty the Knicks could win this thing.
They could. I just don't want them to beat the Pacers to winning a championship. That's you know me. Everything's Indiana to me. All right. Greg, your thoughts real quick on Cat.
So I'm gonna put him in the same category with Randall. They traded an apple for a pear. I mean, I don't think he has high basketball IQ. I just don't. I don't think he thinks downstream far enough. He's thinking in the here and now, and that's just, he's a better scorer than Randall, but they traded an apple for a pear. That's what they did.
I like that analogy. Real quickly, as we kind of start to wrap up the show, we begin the long road to the end. The NBA draft lottery. Now, the people here in Indianapolis are livid, and I've had to think about this. The Pacers had a deal with the Los Angeles Clippers that if they got the pick within the top 4, they'd keep the pick, but they got pick number 5 and they lost the pick to the Clippers. And this is one of the deepest drafts, most skilled drafts in many a year.
Yeah. Allegedly.
Allegedly, only time will tell.
Exactly.
But let me shout out to my former part-time hometown, the Washington Wizards get the number 1 freaking pick, and it looks like they might pick AJ Debonsa. Greg, your thoughts on AJ Debonsa?
He's a phenomenal basketball player, and I pray to Jesus that he goes somewhere else because his career will be ruined if he comes here. I'm telling you, man. We figure out a way to screw up every player and every draft we ever part of. I'm telling you, they're terrible. They're terrible.
Well, that's kind of hard.
Well, he's right though. Look, David. Here's the thing.
Take my word for it. Look at the history book.
Right. So our tanking got us the number 1 pick, and this is what I'm so against the tanking thing, because look what Indiana did, and then they're left with nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, why put yourself through that nonsense? I mean, it's just,
well, in fairness, let me speak for Indiana.
Okay.
Let me speak. They didn't have a center that they could really rely on. Miles Turner, even though he was part of the team for 10 years and they let him go, he wasn't the answer at center. He never had more than 10 rebounds in a game, never averaged that much in a game. He just wasn't reliable. He got boxed out all the time. They needed a really physical center, somebody who could grab rebounds. And getting the guy from the Clippers, it's not a bad move. It was a risk, but the Clippers, I think, outsmarted the Pacers in setting the terms of the trade.
Right.
Top 4. Pacers should have argued a little bit harder for that, but they're going to be better. I don't know. Are they going to be championship level like they were last year? I'm not sure. They got hurt too much.
They don't even have a pick. They don't even have a
pick. They have no pick. They have no pick.
If I'm the Wizards, I would seriously consider drafting Darius Acuff Jr. I would seriously consider it.
Debonsa,
here's what I would consider though if I were the Wizards. So AJ Debonsa plays for BYU, and I think he must be from Utah or something, because they said the owner of the Utah Jazz helped NIL money to BYU to get him or whatever. And I think the state of Utah would like him to stay. They got the number 2 pick. If I'm the Wizards, if I could get them to give me Ace Bailey, who they took number 3 or 4 or 2 last year in the draft, and I swap picks with them. So instead of me picking first, I pick second, and I could take then that guy Darren Peterson from Kansas, and I get Ace Bailey too. If I'm the Wizards, I might do something like that. Now I don't know if Utah would do that, but if Utah would sweeten the deal, I might swap picks with them. Remember, Philadelphia. I don't know how that guy did this. The Boston Celtics GM pulled a fast one on Daryl Morrissey, and what happened was Boston, they swapped picks, and Philadelphia took Markelle Fultz #1, and Boston took Tatum #2, but Boston wanted Tatum all the time. So
Markelle Fultz, we haven't heard from him since.
That's what I'm saying about the draft. Just because you go #1, I looked at that too, like you did, Greg. Look, Cooper Flagg was great. He was a #1 pick. And then Atlanta, the year before that, took a guy named Zachary Risher. He was playing with the Atlanta Hawks. And I watched the Hawks against the Knicks. He didn't even get in the game.
It's a toss-up. It's a coin flip.
The year before that was Wemby. The year before that was Paolo. The year before that was Cade. And Zion went #1. Ayton, they got DeAndre Ayton went #1. So it doesn't always work out for some of these guys. And you need a guy like Presti who knows what he's doing. Or Jerry West. Jerry West was good at looking at talent too.
Have y'all seen that
Jerry West was very good.
I heard it was really good. I haven't
documentary on Jerry West? It's so powerful. It's powerful.
Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I heard it was really good.
Yeah,
it's worth watching.
Yeah,
worth watching.
It was good.
Real quickly on the WNBA, just a couple of sentences on the WNBA, the start of the season. Let me ask you, Greg, your thoughts on, is the WNBA headed in the right direction?
Oh, absolutely. And I think that the way they have structured these contracts and getting these ladies paid, you're seeing them more in commercials. They're all over the place. That league is coming of age, and this isn't just a flash in the pan. They're here to stay. I don't know what happened to the champs on ring night. They got dusted. I don't know where their minds were, but they got absolutely smoked. But no, it's a big year for them.
Yeah, Chuck.
I watched the Fever and Dallas on Saturday. I watched the whole game, and it was good to have Caitlin back out there. Of course, Mitchell is really good for the Pacers. For the Fever. The Fever has got a good team, but Dallas beat them in a really good game.
But they got it. Dallas is better.
Yeah,
better than they were last year.
They are better. And AZ didn't even play but 3 minutes.
She's got to earn her time.
Right. Well, I wonder about. Why take her #1 if you're not going to play her? Anyway.
Well, she's going to play. She will play. She will eventually play.
But you know what concerns me a little bit, David? And ain't nobody a bigger Caitlin Clark fan than me. Nobody.
I'm a bigger fan than you.
Well, I don't know, David. I've been talking about her. I don't know. Anyway, I thought she was slow. I thought she was slow in that game. I didn't.
Her hip was hurting, or back, or something. She kept going into the locker.
Yeah. Anyway, it was a good game. I don't think have the Fever played since Saturday.
They're playing tomorrow night.
Okay.
They're playing tomorrow night in LA against the Sparks.
They got a good team. It's going to be a good season.
They're going to be on national TV the whole season.
44 games.
Somebody used to say this on draft night. The little lady from, I think she was from Notre Dame, and she went to TCU, and she wears the glasses. Her last name, she plays for Minnesota. And she looked great in her rookie debut. She had 21, 22 points, was running the club. And Nafisa Collier is out. And so when she gets back, I think that's a good matchup. Better watch out. WNBA is setting a tone of bringing in Euros, plug and play.
Got a point.
There's a lot to be said about that. Real quick, before I've always wanted to ask you guys this, and then we'll wrap the show up with this. We were all thought we could play sports at one time. And was there a moment in time when you thought you were really something, or it's your favorite moment? I got one or two. Greg, what was yours? You're a great golfer.
I do.
Was it golf? Was it basketball, football?
Baseball.
What was it?
No, it was baseball. And actually, so I walked on at St. Aug. I walked on and earned a scholarship. I mean, and I'm telling you, I was playing with some guys that were a lot better than I was. I wasn't recruited. I wasn't a big baseball player. I was a good baseball player, but I wasn't a big baseball player. So to walk on, earn a scholarship, and actually my freshman year, I got the coaches award. That was my proudest moment. So I mean, but I knew that was the end of the road for me, right? I knew that was it.
Pretty good
Chuck.
deal. College baseball ain't bad. So mine is a quick story. I might have even told it on the show before. So my big thing, because St. Anthony's High School basketball was a great. That's where John Thompson came from.
Yeah.
He left in 72, went to Georgetown. You know the rest of the story. Well, I made the varsity in 74. And it was proud. Now, you're looking at the number 12th man, or 11th or 12th.
They only got 9 players in baseball.
Well, basketball, on a 12-man team, you're looking at number 12. However, I always practiced hard, was always on time.
Okay.
So we're going to play Woodson. Woodson had the leading scorer in the city. His name was Barry Frazier. So
Yes,
Coach
sir.
came to me in the locker room and he said, Snowden, I'm starting you today, and you're checking Barry Frazier. So he announces that to me in my ear, and then he calls the team together. He says, hey, I'm starting Chuck. He's checking Barry Frazier. So I was either 11 or 12 in terms of the 12-man team. My best buddy, Steve, he said, man, we're not even trying to win. He said, man, we're not even trying to win. Now, these guys were my really good friends, my teammates. Half of them were in my wedding and so forth. When we were out in the layup line, they treated me like I had COVID. They didn't even like, come on, Chuck, you can do fun. They were like, I don't know if they were shocked. Anyway, we go out to, you know, how you go out at the start of the game. I went out and I went towards Barry Frazier. And Barry said, what you doing? I said, I'm checking you. You checking me? So he looked over to the other guard, Parham, out loud in front of everybody. My father was there. He said, hey, Parham, what's the record in here? So wait a minute. So the first 3 minutes, I played the first 3 minutes. He had 11 points in 3 minutes. Coach pulled me out, and I never did. I never got back in that game. Anyway, it's just
was incredible.
Still, that's 50-some years ago, and we still tell that story, and everybody we always crack up when it's just a true story.
Oh, one of my favorite stories, I have 2. I was on the track team in as a freshman in high school, and I was running the high hurdles and the long jump and a little bit of high jump. But my coach needed somebody to shot put because our shot putter got hurt.
Wow.
I'd never shot putted before, but I worked on it, and I won the county championship.
In the shot
I won
put.
in the shot put.
Wow.
And, you know, but that was me thinking I could do something, and I did it. My second story, and this is when I was a young boy, in the backyard, we had a big backyard, and my dad said, let me race you. I'm 10 years old. And I'm like, I looked over at my dad, and I'm like, Ready, set, go. I dusted him. And you know what? I slowed down because I felt bad. I'm not supposed to beat my father like this. And he was really trying. So that was one of my favorite moments in sports.
That's cool. That's great.
All right, closing comments, guys. If you have a closing comment.
I have one.
I don't have it.
Go ahead.
So I have one. So listen, last year in baseball, there was the two guys battled all the way to the end, Cal Raleigh and Aaron Judge. And Cal Raleigh had over 60 home runs and 125 RBIs. I thought he should have been the MVP, but he was a switch hitting catcher. He was handling their staff. Seattle was really, really good. He did well in the home run derby and the All-Star game. He had a monster year. They called him the Big Dumper. This year, he just last night he had a hit. He was 0 for 38. He's batting 166 with only 7 home runs and 26 total hits. He is in a slump, They don't know why. And I just find that interesting that this guy just came off this incredible year and now he's off to a slow start. And quite frankly, Shotani, this guy has, he's batting 166 with 7 home runs. Shotani's only batting 240. He's got 8 home runs and he's not having a great year as well. And in fact, they were going to give him they were going to rest him a little bit to see if they can get him going. So I find that interesting. Meanwhile, Aaron Judge is still killing it.
Aaron Judge is a hell of a player.
He is a hell of a
And the
player.
big double won the home run derby.
Yeah, he won the home run derby too, and he's just having a bad year so far.
Maybe he got off the steroids. Anyway.
Oh, David.
I'm kidding.
David.
I'm kidding. They test now. They test now. Anyway, that is our night of Real Fellas Talk Sports. We miss Larry Abels, wherever he is. He's taking a day off. And Larry, I hope you're having a good time because we miss you. Anyway, the voice of reason, he would have reasoned with us very much tonight. Anyway, that's our show.
Absolutely.
We'll see you next week, Wednesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with Real Fellas Talk Sports. I'm David Burnett.
Good job, David.
Thank you, Greg Fenner.
We're not trying to win.
Chuck
We're not even
Snowden.
trying to win.